Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Michael's Corner. Um, don't forget, as always, you can follow me on social media. Facebook is Michael's Corner. Twitter X is at Michael Pam, and YouTube is Michael's Wrestling Channel. Um, I'm gonna bring in a special guest who I've been wanting to interview for so long. His name is Red Lightning. Um, I've been wanting to interview him for so long. Um, but before I bring him on, I um I want to let you guys know that the reason why I'm wearing blue because you guys know what month it is. Not only is the month of April, but it is Autism Awareness Month. So if you guys see me wear blue a lot, it's because of that very reason. So I want to put that out there, okay? So, all right. Uh, so without further ado, let's not waste any more time. Let's bring in my guest. So give me a minute, you guys. Okay, there we go.
There we go. Yeah, yeah.
Hey,
How are
how's
you?
it going? I'm doing
Good.
wonderful.
How are you doing? Good, good.
You know, it's been, I've been wanting to interview you for such a long time.
Yeah, it
And
has been.
yeah, it finally happened. So
Yep.
those 3, 4 years that I've been wanting to interview you, we're finally gonna make this happen.
Yep. That's pretty cool. Finally happened.
Yeah, I just got a lot of questions for you. Th- so first off, thank you for taking your time to do this with me.
Yes, thank you.
Um, so Troy, Red Lightning, of course.
Right, right.
So my question to you is, how did you get into the wrestling business?
Well, all right. Yeah. So I was going to college, um, and I was on the basketball team. So I was in good shape as far as like cardio wise. And school wasn't working out for me. So a friend of mine saw an ad in the newspaper. This is 1998, so that's why we were looking at newspapers. Um, so he said there was a pro wrestling school in the Twin Cities run by Ken Patera, who was a former WWF and AWA wrestler. So I went up there on a Friday night and met Ken and started camp the next day.
Okay, all right, all right. So, um, my next question to you is, what made you become a wrestling promoter?
Okay, so that was 19 years later, 2017. I had stepped away from wrestling for a while just to let some injuries heal that had accumulated over the years. And a friend of mine had a son that was in Special Olympics. and he wanted to set up like a fundraiser for the local Special Olympics sports teams. So he was asking me if I could run a wrestling event or if I could get him in touch with someone that could run a wrestling event. So I contacted a couple of promoters, and none of them had the time or could do it. So I thought, well, maybe I'll give it a try. So that's how it started. Was the first show was a fundraiser for like the local Special Olympics sports teams, and it went so well that the venue approached us and asked us to do more. So it was just going to be a one time thing, and then it turned into we've been running events for Showtime for 7 years, almost 8 years now. So yeah, that's how it started.
Okay, so all right, so um you are the owner of
Showtime,
Showtime, right?
yep, Showtime Pro Wrestling. Yep,
Yeah, Showtime Pro Wrestling. Um, Tell me more about the promotion. Like if, because fans don't know, because, I have a lot of subscribers on YouTube that may not know about wrestling. So can you give them an insight of what Showtime Pro Wrestling is all about?
for sure, for sure. So we run events mostly in Western Wisconsin. Um, so there's probably about 5 or 6 towns that we've run events in, but our main towns are like Eau Claire and Rice Lake. Um, and we're family friendly. I would say it's like PG 13 type wrestling events. Um, yeah, it's live pro wrestling. We use the some of the best talent in the Midwest, from Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois, Iowa. Um, so yeah, we've got a lot of experience in running events, and we put on a really good show. And in the last year and a half, most of our shows have been sold out. So
Wow.
yeah, things are going well right now, which is great.
Mhm. So, so you have mentioned that you you was dealing with some nagging injuries early on in your career. Um, that you needed to step away from wrestling for a little bit. Can you tell me, um, how did you get injured and what was the recovery process was like?
Sure, yeah. Well, I can't look back on one specific like move or instance where I got hurt. I think it was just accumulation over just wrestling for so many years and taking bumps and falls, and um it was just like my neck and my back were needed time to heal. So yeah, just took some time off, did some physical therapy, went to the chiropractor a lot, and rested. And yeah, now it's better than it was. I'll say that.
I'm glad that you're doing better and because your health is number one, first and
Correct.
foremost. And without that, you have nothing,
That's right.
not your health.
Absolutely, yes. 100%.
So, do you have, my next question to you is this, do you have any advice you want to give to the people who wants to be in the wrestling business or once again involved with the wrestling community? Do you have some advice for those people who are interested in, being a wrestler or just being involved in the wrestling business?
Sure. Um, I would say the main thing is you gotta love it. You gotta have a passion for it. Because it's not something that you're guaranteed to make a lot of money in. It's something that is, you have to have, like I said, a love for it and a passion for it, and something that you're willing to spend time at. Because sometimes, if you're just there to help out, even on the day of the show, it can be a long day. It can be, if you get there to help in the beginning before the show and then stay till the end and afterwards, it could be like a 10-hour day sometimes. So yeah, you got to have a love for wrestling and a desire to be involved.
I think that's a great advice. And a lot of things too is I want to bring this out there is like if you want to be involved in the wrestling business and whatnot, you gotta learn how to take the constructive criticism.
Oh yes,
A
yes.
lot of stuff, you know, goes on with it, not just the wrestling aspect of it. You got to deal with constructive criticism, and
Yes.
and like I said, I've been involved with the wrestling business for about 10 years. I've been
Okay.
going to independent pro wrestling shows for the last 13.
Okay. Okay.
I have seen a whole lot.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like you were saying about being able to take constructive criticism, that's something that, yeah, you have to be willing to, because how else are you going to learn, right? Unless someone explains to you or tells you what you're doing wrong. So yeah, there's a lot of times that's something that comes with as part of it. You have to be able to, you know be told that, you need to do this different, or you could do this better, or you need to learn how not to do this, stop doing that. Right. So yeah, that is part of it.
Yeah. So how did you came up with the gimmick name Red Light?
Okay, yeah. So I was in camp, at Ken Patera's school there, and I was getting ready to have my first match, and Ken Patera was like, "What are we gonna call you?" Because at the time I was 20 years old and I was a lot smaller, so I was maybe like 160 pounds, maybe 170 pounds, and so he was like, "Well, you're fast, so let's call you Lightning." And then I had like my hair was like more red then, so he was like, "Let's just call you Red Light." So he came up with the name because I was like a smaller, faster guy with red hair. So he just kind of came up with the name on the spot, and I just stayed with it.
Okay, all right. That's a funny way to know it. Now that
Right?
because I know the last time I saw you in person wrestling, you had short hair,
Okay,
but now
yeah.
I'm seeing
Yeah.
you now, your hair is gotten long. That's a
Yep. Yep, just growing it out. Well, I figured as long as I still have hair, I might as well grow it out.
um. So yeah, I want your input on this because lately I've been hearing, fans sometimes, they like to get, just because they brought a ticket, they think that they're part of the show. But once, but once you step out of that barricade, and want to, fight with a wrestler, then you cross that line. So can you can you from a perspective, how how do you feel about, like it's one thing that fans get involved, you
Right.
know, involved involved, and whatnot. And they have their opinion, but I just don't understand why they feel the need to jump over that barricade or the fence and try to get involved in taking their part of the show. It's the other way around. Am I right about that?
No, you're right. Yeah, that's not a good idea to do, because the wrestlers will look out for each other. So if it's a fan that's going to jump in the ring, they're going to have to fight both wrestlers and the referee probably. So like it's just not a good idea. Um, and then the other thing is as a fan, yes, we want you to be involved. We as wrestlers, we want you to be very involved in the show and very involved in the matches. But yeah, don't cross the line into like physically getting involved. We want you to like stand up and yell or cheer or boo or whatever. That's fine. But yeah, if a fan were to, which I've been doing this for 26 years and I've only had it happen once where a fan jumped in the ring and he didn't even make it to the wrestlers. The referee tackled him. So yeah, he didn't even get to us.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is it's like that's the one part I don't like about the biz is, these fans think that they can do whatever the hell they want to do, but once you cross that line,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
then you're asking for a different kind of trouble, you know?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
hmm Yep. So it's like that just goes back to, wrestlers can't put their hands on the fans and
Right.
fans can't put their hands on the wrestlers.
Yeah.
You-
Exactly. Exactly. It's a good rule. Um, for I also like to have the ring announcer kind of announce that before the show starts, just so fans understand like what you can do this, but don't touch them, don't put your hands on them.
Yeah. And also, I want to add, fans don't throw stuff in the ring because I see some fans have the tendency to do that,
Right.
and it's not okay, and it's
No.
unacceptable in this profession.
Yes. um yeah, it could, if you're throwing it at the bad guy, you might miss and hit the good guy. Plus, wrestlers can get hurt if it's like a cup or something and they slip on it. Yeah, you don't want
Yeah,
it. It's not a good idea.
yeah. So, yeah, yeah. It's like, we're just trying, what Red Light Thing is trying to say is we want to make the business better. We want we want people to just come to these shows. It could be any show, any wrestling shows. We want you guys to have fun and enjoy the show and just boo, cheer, heckle, you
Yep.
know, give them shit.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
all we're saying is just don't jump over the fans or lay your hands on the wrestler because, you know, then you be crossing the line.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
so just have fun, you know, stay in your lane. That's what
Yeah. Yeah.
someone told me.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. That's a good way to say it. Stay in your lane. Yep.
hmm So, my next question to you is, when you're not, at wrestling shows or whatnot, what does Red Lightning likes to do?
Well, um, I like to work out, and I it's almost summer, spring, summer. I like to golf. Um, let's see what else. Any kind of outdoor activities in the summer, I'm a big fan of. Um, the winters get long here, except for this winter we had a nice, pretty mild winter. So that
Which I
that was
like, by the way.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So But yeah, in the summer I like to be outdoors. I like to do things, different activities, whatever I can do.
Yeah, and I can say that my father and I, we love the mild winter because then he doesn't have to get out and shovel every time because
Right.
he, you know, he cares about me, wants to take care of me and whatnot, making sure, I don't slip and fall and crack my head wide open, but
Yeah.
I also help around the house too,
That's
and,
good. Yeah. Yeah, for
in
sure.
fact, my dad's gonna get me when I say this. He's actually he's 73 years old,
Oh
and
wow. Okay.
hmm
That's cool. Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah, I love him to death,
That's
and
great. Yeah.
yep.
That's good. Is
So,
he a wrestling fan too?
no, no,
Oh,
no,
okay.
he's fortunate, but he does support me in what I do.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
Yep, because I have two jobs and plus this.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so he's so supportive. I work at Buns and Barley's. That's the grocery store.
Okay.
I'm located in Golden Valley, Minnesota.
Yep.
You just take Highway 100 North, but and I'm there. You know,
Okay.
that's what Buns and Barley's is. And I also work for the union. Well, so
Yeah. Okay,
I'm.
that's cool.
But
Yeah.
that's too much long of a story.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'll
Oh,
I'll tell you about that. I'll message you about the union and whatnot because
okay. Okay.
it's too much time and whatnot.
Sure. Yeah, yeah.
And also, I have my own small brand, Michael's Corner.
Yep.
There you
Yep.
go.
Yep. Your
So
videos do well on YouTube, so that's cool.
yes. And speaking of YouTube, have you seen the views I have? I
Yeah,
have
that's yeah.
uh, 1,348.
Okay. Wow. That's
I
really
could,
good. Yeah.
but I'll double check it. But it's in the thousands.
Wow. That's cool. Yeah. Congratulations.
hmm Yeah, it's like I'm doing my best to put more content out there, and so people can watch it. Because when you have that many subscribers on YouTube, you wanna, I wanna do more content and
Right.
like this, and because the fans because the audience they love watching my interviews and whatnot,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, keep putting them out.
I will. And speaking of, oh yes, so we have talked about this for quite some time now. We talked about this even even before the pre-pandemic. I gotta make my Showtime
Yes.
pro wrestling debut.
Yep, yep. You got to get over here to a show.
I gotta get over there because it's been I've been wanting to come down there, but damn it, that hit that COVID hit and
Yeah.
shut
Yeah.
everything down.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. We didn't run a show for probably 9 months, so maybe almost a year.
Oh my
So,
god.
yeah. Yeah, it was pretty bad. And then but we do have one on Saturday in Rice Lake. And then
Holy shit. Oh man, I did not know that.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, this
Yeah.
Saturday. It's only like 2 days away.
Okay, all right, all right.
And and then the next one, the one after that will be May 4th, and that's in Eau Claire.
Okay, all
So
right.
yeah, maybe
Uh,
you can make it to one of those. I don't know.
well, that's the plan. yeah, we'll talk more about that on messaging,
Okay.
'cause I
Okay.
do I do want to get down there so that because I want to get down there and I just want to I love going to different wrestling promotions
Yep.
so
Yep.
that
For sure.
I can get that excited feeling and whatnot. And if
Yes.
you hear me just cheering, booing, and heckling or laughing so hard, then that tells you that I really enjoy myself.
Okay. Great.
Uh,
Great.
So, but if you see me like kind of quiet or something, then you gotta do something. You gotta do something entertaining.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That means you're not enjoying it too much if you're just
Yeah, and
yeah,
then you
yeah.
gotta do is just got you gotta do something entertaining for me, so
Right.
that I can just like that pay attention, so I can and really enjoy myself because
Exactly.
because at these wrestling shows, Red Lightning, every show that I went to, I had a great time,
Awesome.
especially at that Rudo's promotion show that I went
Okay.
to last month.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that Rudo's promotion show, whew,
It's a lot of
last
fun.
month, I'm telling you, I really enjoyed it. I gave the promoter of that a really hard time. he was wearing he was wearing this ring gear, and I was just dying laughing my butt off. It was like, what are you wearing? He just made me laugh so hard.
That's great.
And I was like, wow. It's like everybody was laughing and enjoying themselves. And I always said this on Facebook, and I said this in general. If I can make one person laugh
Yep.
or smile, then I did my job as a human being.
That's great. Yeah. That's good. Brighten up somebody's day. Yeah.
So Red Lightning, I don't want to waste any more of your time because you gotta gear up for this weekend.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
where can people follow you on social media?
Sure. All right. Yes. So there is a Red Lightning Facebook page. And there's also Showtime Pro Wrestling. We have so if you just search for Showtime Pro Wrestling, you'll find us on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok.
Okay. All right. I just again thank you so much for taking your time out of your busy schedule to finally do this with me.
Yes,
You
thank
know,
you, Michael.
I I just I love doing these interviews like this because it's 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 my favorite hobby. And
Yeah,
I don't consider it as a job, but I
right.
consider this my hobby. I like to interview wrestlers and getting to know their stories and whatnot.
Yeah,
And I gotta say, one of these days, if I happen to interview a wrestler, maybe one of them can turn the tables on me.
there you go.
hmm I
Have
would
them
like to,
interview you.
in
Yeah,
fact, I would like to see that. You know, then I could get the views, more views and whatnot.
right. Yeah, yeah, it's a
And
good idea.
so, yep, you heard it first.
That's
hmm
right.
So,
Yeah, that's excellent.
Red Lightning, you have a great night, and we should definitely do this again. You know,
Yeah, for
We
sure. That would be
should do this
great.
again. If you have anything coming up, And if you want to address it here on Michael's Corner, shoot me a message.
Sounds good. Thank you, Michael.
Yep. You have a good night.
Yep, you too. Bye.
Bye. All right. All right. That will. Here I am. So that was a great interview and whatnot. So, um, like I said, I love doing these interviews because you know this is this is my favorite hobby. This is what I like to do, you guys. That will do it for this this episode of Michael's Corner. You guys take care and have a great evening. And I'll see you guys in the next episode of Michael's Corner.